Why you gotta make it sound like that?
It's like, this is a lot of work to hit that button. It's like,
It's green.
It's like, it's coming in.
It takes so much energy to hit a button.
The live. We are live. We are live, but
It's
grainy.
like 7-second delay, I think.
Yeah. Now we're up. Now we look beautiful. And with the beauty, we have to play the music.
Oh, wow.
And then the music.
And there's usually, see, I can't even help it. I was gonna explain to you that there's chair dancing involved, but then it just started happening. Episode 143, Love and Jokes podcast, brought to you by the beautiful Anthony. Anthony, who is now Fasha Azul. For you uneducated fucking wretches out there, blue belt. That's right. That's right. I promoted my students finally. We'll talk more about the promotions. Sitting across from me is the one they call Little Sis. We're going to talk about how Little Sis became my little sis. And like right now you're like, how did this white girl become your little sister? First of all, you're racist, sir. You can't tell me who my family can be and who they can't be. Or what color they have to be and what color they can't be. You son of a bitch. And now, Anthony, I believe we should start the show.
I just realized the whole time I've been looking at this like video that there's a little kid smoking a cigar in the picture of the whole video.
Wait, what?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Of our theme song?
Yeah.
That's great.
Interesting.
Yes. So
Let him do that.
he's a boss.
Let him enjoy.
Yeah.
As long as his parents are there and they're all getting paid.
His dad is celebrating.
Yeah, right? He comes out of preschool, pop a fucking macanudo in his mouth. No big deal. So what's up, sis?
Nothing much. I'm seeing you for the first time in like a couple months because I live in Columbus now.
Yeah.
Fun times. College is fun.
Yeah.
No, but yeah.
So, this is my little sister, Paulina.
Hello, hello.
And in the first move that I had that was like really my first move as a solo entrepreneur really was the transition between having the academy located inside of Cleveland Aikikai, which is an Aikido studio, which was well established. It was the place where Donald Park started teaching me jiu-jitsu.
Now a Metro PCS.
It is now a Metro PCS. It's now purple.
Yes.
One of my friends was scouting locations for his next business, and he was like, hey, I found a space that might be great for you. And it's really cheap. You might want to look at it. And so I walked into this space, and the floor was like wavy and had a pool kind of effect at one point.
Yeah.
And I took a friend over there, and he was like, no way, dude. Can't do this. Like, where are you going to put mats? And I was like, man, it's really cheap. And he was like, no, this isn't the right place. Then I took another one of my friends in, a person who'd known me a lot longer, also involved in jiu-jitsu. He walked in, he looked around, and he was like, we can make this work. And the guy that said that we could make this work, that was my homie Doug. And he was right. We made it work. And at first, it was super, super grimy. And then it became kind of nice. Almost posh. Almost posh. It was like grime posh.
Hey, you had like basically spring floors.
But I had a wonderful neighbor. And I didn't know that we were going to get along. In fact, at first, I thought maybe we won't. But that neighbor had a car shop. And that neighbor not only had a car shop, he had a daughter. And Paulina, I don't remember if you spoke the first time I saw you.
I did. You know, I was actually thinking about this today. First time I saw you, my dad had to go to the bank. That was the summer after eighth grade, and I was just chilling with my dad. I was fresh out of middle school.
Oh my God, sis.
Yes.
All right, keep going. Go.
And I was just chilling, fixing cars with my dad. A lot of fun. And then I was just watching the shop to make sure nobody stole anything. And the mailman came in. I was like, oh, package for Darren. I was like, I guess that's the person who's next to us. I hadn't I'd only heard your laugh. I knew you were a person, but that was it. And dude, my dad talks about your laugh literally every time I bring you up. He's like, dude, his laugh. Every single time. Yeah.
I love your dad.
Yeah. And you came in, and I was like, oh, like I think you came in to say hi because you wanted to say hi to my dad or something. Bless you. And I was like, oh yeah, like package for Darren. I was like, oh, I guess. I was just like giggling. I don't know. I was like, I didn't think you would become an important person in my life, you know. But that was the first time I think I ever talked to you.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
But there was this shared bathroom for the two businesses, and I went down there. And there's like a tiny little like, glass window in the door to the academy, and I was like, ooh. Sweaty men fighting each other. I'm 13. This is what I want to do.
So what away words?
So I remember when I first started teaching there, I didn't feel like Oleg liked me, and we were having an issue about parking. And that's what it was solely based on. It was territorial shit, right? Mm-hmm. So you have a car business. You need to be able to park cars in the fucking lot, right? I have a service business. Like, I have people that, clients, you know? They want to come in and they want to park their fucking car too, right? So we set a line. Like, oh, it's going to be right here.
You had, like, signs that was
yeah.
Gracie
Well,
Jujitsu.
eventually there were signs.
Yeah.
At first, it was like, okay, I'll tell my guys, and from here on, we can park. And from here to the street is you. Shake hands, agree upon it, walk away. And my guys just don't honor it. Like they just park wherever.
Also, my dad can be very intimidating. He's a large Soviet man.
Soviet man.
And so one day, I'm teaching, and Oleg just kind of storms into the doorway, right? And so I see him standing there, and I can see he's really mad. And I'm like, "Hey man, what's wrong?" And he's like, "The parking." And I was like, I'm really sorry. Like, I'll tell them to move their car. And he reveals that he has a handgun. And I'm like, I just knew that he was kidding. Now, I don't know how I knew. Because he was really selling it with his face. Yeah. And I didn't know him personally yet. So, like, we have argued. We have shook hands on arguments. But never, like, really smiled or laughed after yet. Right?
Yeah.
Like, so at this point, we have agreed to try. We've agreed to try. We have never been like, oh, I like that guy. It's just like, okay, we're going to make this work. Mm-hmm. And so he's standing there, and he's got a gun. And I'm like, he's fucking with me. And so I'm like, shoot me then. And he reveals that it's an air pistol. He shoots at like a little thing of bleach. And like, we have a laugh. And it was like, boom, we're cool now. Like, we are now friends.
He then set off, what was it?
Oh yeah, fireworks.
Sparklers or like fireworks right in front of the door, and everyone thought there was a bombing.
Yeah, there were pranks. It was beautiful.
My dad should have a prank YouTube channel, honestly.
It was beautiful. And one day, he comes over, and Polina's with him, and he's like, "My daughter wants to try jujitsu," and I was like, "Oh yeah!" I was like super psyched. I was like, "No way!" I was like, "All right, cool." And she started training. Were you 14 when you started, or 13 when you started?
Because I started in like June or July.
Okay. Yeah. And she's been like my fucking little homie ever since, you know?
I was there, dude. I went to noon, and then I went Monday, Wednesday, Friday when it was like when I lived there basically at the shop every day.
Yeah.
But I would pick me up at 9 a.m. in the morning. I would go, I'd sit there, take some tires off some cars, maybe change some brakes, and then I'd go train. Have fun. Dude, my summer of my 8th grade year was spent fixing cars and beating people up. As my 9th grade history teacher said, very feminine.
That's so cool, though.
Yeah,
see, like,
it was a lot of fun.
Who gets to have that experience?
Yeah.
Right? It's like, I have brake dust all over me. I fucking choke people.
Dude, it was gnarly. I probably should have brought more changes of clothes.
That was the thing to do, though, before high school. Like, I wish I had jujitsu and, like, the ability to do any kind of skill before I had entered high school. Mm-hmm. I think I would have been a much more confident human. I was not confident at all.
You also went to a super prissy school.
True. But that wasn't why I wasn't confident.
I see.
It was because I knew that, like, I was full of shit. Like, I knew it. And, like, I was like, sometimes somebody's gonna figure this out. But like jiu-jitsu gave me the opportunity to like actually learn something and like test it. In like a situation where like someone could just be like, no, that doesn't work. Instead of me being like, I don't know, able to talk my way out of shit. You know? So, have you been training while you were in college?
I went to judo I go to OSU, and I'm a lowly freshman.
Don't be stalking. You motherfuckers.
To large
Don't be
campus.
stalking.
Creepy.
Cunts.
She's taken.
I am.
She got a man, son. And he's a nice boy.
Yes.
And he doesn't know how to fight yet,
Is it a swim?
but he can swim really well. And he's really nice. And we'll just buy him guns and shit.
There
So
you go.
He
like,
lives in Jaga County. He
don't
can.
fuck around. You'll get fucked up out here, dog. All right, finish. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's okay. I appreciate it. Appreciate the shout out. So OSU has this very, very, very large sports complex, like a giant building, and they have jiu-jitsu and judo isn't like they have free fitness classes, but they don't have them as fitness classes. They have them as like a club.
Okay.
So I went to judo. I do not remember who was coaching, but there was a girl there who I think I called you afterwards and you said you knew her.
Okay.
Her name is Nina.
I know Nina.
Yes.
Yeah.
She said she wanted you to come down. I mean, obviously too late, but yeah. She said she'd really like you to come down, but that's pretty much the only time I went because all the other times I had classes and then they would do Friday nights and weekends, and I don't enjoy being in Columbus, so I come here whenever I can. So Friday nights weren't really an option.
Understood.
But yeah, no, I trained. I think I trained a couple times, like when I've come back on the weekends to see you. I cried almost every time I did
Why?
because I hadn't seen you for so long.
Yeah.
And you're like a very like you. So my parents, they I think they got divorced actually, like officially a couple months ago, but they split up, and it wasn't. That's actually the big reason why I was at my dad's shop because I didn't really like hang out with I mean, I was on fine terms with my dad, but I didn't like hang out with him a lot before this happened. So I was, and then started training. But before that, I was like, kind of like, I think it was long enough for it to be clinical, but I was like depressed in middle school. But everyone's depressed in middle school. But it was to the point where it was like getting like out of hand, where I like didn't want to do anything.
Yeah.
Like I was to the point where I was like, I don't want to do anything with my life, and doing jiu-jitsu and helping like dealing with, let's just say, like my parents splitting up is what really helped me like become a better person and not just sulk.
Yeah.
So you helped me out a lot, bud.
I am glad. I am glad. Well, you have helped me as well, sis.
Have I? Have
Yeah,
I
of
made
course.
you like? Am I one of the reasons why you started to do kids classes?
No.
Because I just trained with the big
Yeah.
big guns.
Yeah.
Right away.
You are not that. You're one of the people that makes me like check myself when I'm about to do something horrible.
Before you wreck yourself.
Yeah. Because I'm like, man, I don't want little sister to find out that I did some horrible shit. So I just don't do it. Like, I don't do it. Just
I'm
like,
glad.
I don't want you to have to explain. Like, well, we had a good relationship and he was really helpful to me before he murdered all those people. Like, I don't want you to have that conversation.
Is that a story I don't know about?
Murdered. So people don't get murdered.
Yeah.
Like, seriously. Like, shit like that.
I'm glad I can be.
I don't want you to have to explain away who I am. Like, I want to be free and not in jail when you get like married and have kids. Like, I want to see them.
I'm glad. I want you to see them too. They need to be little monsters.
Oh shit.
Dude, I brought Darren to my high school.
Do you know this?
You weren't even training at this point, I don't think. I think I was a sophomore.
Was this the story of him being a speaker?
Okay.
Yes.
Yes, this is the story.
Yes, I do know
Let her
this.
tell it. Let her tell it.
So my high school had this thing where they would bring in like, it was kind of like a show and tell thing where people bring in like parents or people they knew to talk about their careers. So there were doctors that would always come in and be like, this is how you be a doctor. Congratulations. But I wanted to do something a little different. And I thought, I mean, I know Darren is very good at teaching and speaking to large groups of people. So I was like, hey, I want to have a self-defense seminar here. I know a really awesome dude. He's going to do it. It's going to be great. And so I told the teacher, she was like, awesome. And it was It wasn't really last minute, but it was last minute on the side of the school because like a week before that, a sophomore I was actually down the street, he got shot. And then another kid who graduated the year before overdosed. So it was like a tough time, and there were people crying in the hallway all over the place because everyone knew these kids. And I was worried. I was like, I mean, I was worried for the situation, but I wasn't sure if this was even going to happen in this like, you know, situation because everyone was really upset. But you came in and they announced on the loudspeaker, because they never announce these on the loudspeaker, but they were on the PA system. It's like, hey, this jiu-jitsu seminar is happening right here. Self-defense seminar is happening right here. It's the most people who have ever come in at all. This room has like seats for 50 people. There were like 150 people in that room. It was absurd. And Darren taught this awesome class, and I think it just like brought up everyone's spirits too, because he's really funny and awesome and all that. But he also wore some gray joggers to that seminar.
Innocently
Enough.
I didn't know the power of joggers yet.
But he gave...
I swear to God.
He was trying
Don't
to...
me, Anthony. I fucking mean it. Do you think I would do that?
I know you wouldn't do
I
that.
was practically... I put myself in the position of a goddamn sex offender, essentially.
Yeah,
like,
you did. I know.
Yeah, but
When I heard the
he
story,
like
it was
he gave
hilarious.
his phone. He was like, oh, like who's good with social media, whatever. He gave his phone to a kid who was actually taking pictures on Snapchat or anything, and he looked at the pictures later, and it was like it was out there for everyone to see. It was a lot. I didn't say anything to you, but it was a lot. Free advertising.
Thank you for not saying anything at the time. I
Yes.
appreciate that about you.
Fun story off of that.
That
though.
would have broke my mind. Like,
Oh no.
if you had said that,
Yeah.
that would have shattered my brain. I don't know if I would have been able to handle
It was a lot of fun though. But there was this one kid, I'm friends with him still. But you showed it was Dimitri, his name is. You showed him how to get out of just like someone holding your neck. And a couple weeks later, we took a trip to Cedar Point with like our math class or something. And he was like, "Oh, like remember this thing that your coach showed me? Like can I like can you like repeat it?" And he did it, and I was like, "No. Like I was like, you have to put your hands in front of you so they don't knee you in the face, right? Because when you duck down." And I was like, "No, like put your hands like here." And he just went like unintentionally, and I was in a coat, and we're really good. Like, I don't know if you know the level above the friend zone. It is the brother zone.
Yeah.
He is deep in the brother zone, so I don't really care. But it was
An
so funny. He was
inadvertent
so ashamed.
Yeah.
He's like, "Oh."
Yeah. That's a tough one.
It was a lot of fun. But that
That's
seminar
why
was great.
I always touch people with my fist. Like if I touch, like if I'm gonna like do the demonstration where you hold the collar, and like no, I'm gonna like say you're in the closed guard, right? So like I'm on my shins or whatever, and I'm like, all right, I've got my hand on your lapel, my hand on your hip, right? If it's no gi, I never put my hand, but I don't just put my hand somewhere random. I'll put my hand where it belongs, but I make a fist. So it's clear, like, this is where it goes.
Right.
We're just bodies, but I ain't giving anybody any room to say this is weird.
Right.
Like, I don't touch you. I'm like doctor.
I've got used to people sitting on my face surprisingly quickly. I didn't think I would.
It is weird.
No, like 2 weeks in, I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah. So, like, I don't really remember what it was like for me socially when I first started grappling because I was 10. Right? That was like the first time that someone's laying on me in close contact on a regular basis. And
Yeah.
at that point, I'm not even having sex or like even like overtly sexual thought. Like you like people, you know what naked people look like, you've got some ideas. But when you're 10, you just don't have a big enough frame of reference for it to be really sexual. It's just like, it must have been weird the first few times though. Like the first time a kid like laid on me had to be weird.
But it's also kind of different when you're a girl with even a trace of boobs.
Yes.
You know?
So then it gets weirder in jiu-jitsu when men train with women. That's when things can get
And that's
very,
pretty much the only
very
situation I got.
yeah, because there were just no girls around. It was just you
Yeah.
for a lot of that. And then like, I don't know, maybe not always the most desirable training partners for girls when they were.
Yeah.
So it was like, you're going to train with who you can train with.
It's just whoever's the smallest. That's it.
But yeah, it's got to be weird to like, okay, I'm going to start this jiu-jitsu thing. Oh, you mean everybody is going to triangle me?
Yeah.
just like my head in your crotch is normal. now.
You know, by the
And
time
I
it
can't
got
even make jokes about it, or I'm weird.
well, by
You
the
can't make jokes about it.
I mean, how long can you make jokes about it? Do you see what I'm saying?
Oh, you gotta be really creative, but you can do it for a while.
But do you see what I'm saying? Though?
Yeah.
It's like it's not that you can't make jokes about it, but if you're like, if every single time we do a triangle, you burst into laughter, we're not gonna get very far.
yeah.
Yes.
I think by the time I started doing like triangles became a thing in my life. I think I was past that though.
Right. So
Yeah.
like you'd already been in so many
Oh,
spots
no,
that
no.
like at this point, like obviously this is just
No,
a triangle.
fun fact. I said this to Ish. We just came back from food, but before that we went to training, and Spiro.
Yeah.
Spiro, I went to this like another guy that trains occasionally. He threw a Christmas party, and I went with my boyfriend. And Spiro goes like, and I've known Spiro since I was 13. And he comes up to my boyfriend. He's like, "How do you feel that I've had my chest hair in her mouth?" And that's all he said. That's it.
You just wanted to be a cunt. Like I yelled at all the boys for that shit because like I was like, dude,
Oh, it's fine.
that's not. I know it's fine, but I was like, that's not the way to like play this. Like, say he was a bad guy, right? Like, we should just kick his ass actually if he's a bad guy, and if he's a good guy, we should let him be. Because if he's somewhere in between and we fucking tough guy this shit, like she's just gonna fuck him forever now. Like she'll hold on longer because we were assholes about it. Like,
He didn't care. He's a
just
very
let it
chill dude.
slide. Like, he seems nice enough. Like, don't fuck with this kid. This poor kid.
He's very chill. It's fine. He doesn't
Poor kid.
care. I think he's still asleep. It's fine.
It's the weekend.
It is.
It's all good.
The freaking. He stayed up till 3 a.m. playing board games with my mom. So
Aw.
yeah,
And
him
you
and my
said
mom
no
just
rushing?
chill. They just hang out like without me. The night of my college orientation, I was very upset because I didn't want to move away anyways. Still don't. Besides the subject. But they just
I don't want
went
to move away either, dude. We just have to for now.
for now.
We gotta do some shit. We have to win.
But you're right. But him and my mom just went and got like a fancy steak dinner at this restaurant in like a super fancy
Yeah,
part
but
of
who paid,
Columbus.
though?
My mom.
See?
Yeah. No, she said
Better
people
watch
were
your man.
she said people were looking at them super weird, but then I FaceTimed them and they were like, "Okay, this is
Yeah,
okay."
I get it. No, for
Yeah.
sure.
And so I'm happy you're at that point in your relationship because there'll be a point where the love will take over and he will be the favorite one and you will not.
He already is.
So then you're at a point of no return. You're at a point of no return.
I think I'm already there. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm fine with it, but like I think
Oh,
I'm
no.
there.
Weird things will happen. Like you'll get like they'll come. Is he in Columbus with you?
No, he's at John Carroll. Here.
Okay, never
He lives
mind
at
then.
home.
So you're fine.
Lucky son of a bitch.
So that means he'll probably have more dinners with your mom than you will.
What?
He'll probably have more dinners with your mom than you will.
I mean, not total in life, but yeah.
Well, yeah. Well, in
He's,
this-
you know what? Actually, this summer, my mom needs help at, she works at a pharmacy. She's a pharmacy tech. He's getting pharmacy tech certified and working with my mom.
See,
No way.
Yeah.
see,
Dude, he's trying to marry you, dude. He's trying to get in there.
yeah.
He's trying to stay around.
He's, again, learning Russian for
He's trying to stay around.
of his own accord.
Found something he likes.
Small women.
I guess.
Oh, man. Wait.
That's a lot to do. Like, I'm gonna become a pharmacy tech. I'm gonna hang out with your mom.
Becoming
I'm
a
gonna learn
pharmacy tech
Russian.
takes a single week.
No, but
Becoming a
still.
pharmacy tech is nothing.
To do it,
No
though.
diss to pharmacy techs, but
To do it though.
Yeah.
Instead of doing, I don't know.
I mean-
something that other 21-year-olds do.
he would work at a pool or at Heinen's otherwise, and he really doesn't want to do
I
either of
respect it, I'm just
those.
saying.
And plus, it's cool to be 20 years old and have certified pharmacy technician on your thing.
Trying to marry a little sis.
Get rocked up.
Uh-huh.
Get
It's
rocked
going well
up.
so far, you know. I feel like there's two rational ways to go into a relationship. One is which this is going to last forever. Two is which this is not going to last forever, so why try? So you just go day by day, right?
I think that's reasonable.
I know.
I don't know how to do relationships, sis.
You've done more than I have.
Yeah. But I have not done them well at all. Because I'm a bad person.
You're climbing up there. See. Here's the thing, though. You said I keep you accountable. I don't think you're a bad person at all. Maybe I have. I
It's
genuinely
getting
don't.
better.
Well, I don't think you're a bad person because, sure, I haven't heard of like all the wild stuff you've done in your life. Although I've heard a lot. You have a few. You like once I got older, you had you didn't have much of a filter at first either, but like once I became one of the boys, you're like, no. But like, here's the thing. Yes, actions speak for who a person is, but there's also like an essence about someone, right? Like my dad, like most Russian men who moved to America, is subtly racist, right?
As he should be.
Yeah.
It's tribal.
But whenever he talks about like, I'm not racist, but type of stuff, he always brings you up. He's like, you know, I wouldn't want to live in like a black neighborhood or anything like that, but Darren, he's just a pure person. I love him. And he's right. He's right about you. You know? I think like, I think there's just something about you that like, I have a difficult time phrasing things, but there's just, even if you're not doing the best things, I think oftentimes you have good intentions for the long run.
Anthony with a slow nod.
I agree 1,000%. Like I said, you're the best.
You're not a malicious person.
Yeah, you're the best at. Your intentions are always the best. The execution sucks sometimes.
Respect.
Yeah.
No, when Darren told me he was moving, I don't know if people know this already, but your 20s were a little wild. Just a little bit. Just a little bit.
Yes.
But we were talking on the phone about this, and I said, oh, maybe it's like a 20-year cycle. So your 20s were a little wild. Now your 40s will be a little wild, but you said a little more lucrative, and I think that was the best word to find there. You know?
Man, yeah. And those 40s are coming rapidly. Fuck.
Semi-rapidly.
So old.
Not that old. You were 33 when I met you. You just got your driver's license.
Yeah, dude. I mean, why drive until you're in your 30s? Oh, yeah.
Because you want to go back from Columbus to Cleveland where you belong. I mean, not you, me.
You poor thing. It'll be over before you know it.
I mean, this first year has gone by super quickly.
Yeah.
I will admit that. Like, the days are long, but the weeks are short.
Like, boom.
Yeah.
That's good. It's almost like... What? Fuck. Are you done in May?
I'm done actually April 30th.
Really?
Yeah, OSU gets out super early, but their breaks are a little shorter.
Okay. And so then you'll be home. Do you have plans for the summer?
I have a potential... I mean, yes, I have a research position lined up with a John Carroll professor at Case.
Okay.
And then my dad wants to take me on this big trip to Russia, which we'll see what happens. He hasn't made our visas yet, but we'll see.
I was
Could be
wondering if
exciting.
I was going to Russia.
What do you mean?
There was a rumor
That you
at
were
one point
that my dad was taking you to Russia?
No, that there might be a fight in Russia. There was a rumor at one point. I was like,
Hey,
what if I go to Russia?
take my dad with you.
Like, that would be so crazy.
It'll be a lot of fun. My dad actually, the only reason I have health insurance is because my college requires me to have health insurance, and I forced my mom to get health insurance like recently because she's got like a new car, and I was like, Mom, if you can afford a Cadillac SUV, you can afford health insurance. So I made her get health insurance because she comes up to me one day and she's like, you know, I can't really like take deep breaths. I can't really breathe like with all of my lungs. I'm like, Mom, you're almost 50. Go to a doctor. And her mom had breast cancer, so I was like, no, you need to go to a doctor. And my dad, before we go, if we do go, and even if we don't, he's gonna go to Russia and like get everything checked out because he's 52 and been smoking since he was like 13.
Yeah.
So things need to happen.
It's time to stop that shit.
He won't. He tried to stop and he ate Twix bars the whole time.
I don't want to. Yeah, there's that. When my dad stopped smoking cigarettes, he started and drinking. It was like all of a sudden there was sugar everywhere. It was like gummy bears, candy. It was like a replacement. Mm-hmm.
It's not that actually you become more hungry. It's that nicotine inhibits certain receptors in your brain that make you hungry. Mm. So you're less hungry when you smoke. So you're back to normal after you're done. So you're like, wait, what?
Yeah. And there's also people that think that nicotine is also a nootropic, that it helps your brain function.
Well, technically, yes, nicotine itself does.
Yeah.
Because the only issue with smoking is all the stuff that's not nicotine. That's the only stuff that's bad for you. But nicotine itself is
Yeah,
you
trying to
need
get carcinogens.
you need nicotine. Nicotine's not a carcinogen. You have nicotinic receptors in your brain that help you move. Like the reason you have like your neurons that help you like that attach to your muscles, your
Yeah.
neuromuscular junctions, they need nicotine to function.
Crazy.
Neuroscience major, by the way.
So maybe I should buy the gum. Just no, I'm kidding.
That still has other stuff, but maybe.
Yeah. No, I'm just gonna go cold fucking turkey. Like fuck it.
Good luck.
You know.
You can't let yourself get fat, so I mean.
Yeah, I can't. Like I have to start working out. Like as soon as I get there,
Mhm.
I can't fall off the wagon. It's like I've been doing really good with working out.
Yeah.
And I don't want to stop lifting.
No, the stuff you do is
I
super
don't wanna
impressive
shrink.
on Instagram. Like I'm just like, what the
It's weird.
Yeah.
It's
You
getting
get
weird.
big. You literally, it's like you inflate like a balloon every time I see you.
Shut up.
Because I see him every like month or so, and I give him a hug, and I'm like,
There's more of me.
yeah. I'm used to you being like 130 pounds, but I'm 130 pounds.
It's a fine weight for both of us. I think we wore it well,
I think so too.
but I've outmanned those things. Like
How much are you now? Or is it a secret?
I don't really know.
I see.
I really don't. I would guess, especially after eating what we just ate,
He had 2 sandwiches.
that I'm about 150,
Mhm.
which is the heaviest I've ever been in my life. But I'm still lean.
Yeah.
So it's
Oh
not like
yeah.
I got fat and went up to 150. It was like I got disciplined and put on weight,
Yeah.
which is weird. Especially since I haven't been like particularly trying to get heavier.
Mhm.
It's just a year's worth of actual work. And I'm bigger.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like my pants don't fit really. Like these pants fit weird.
What about some joggers?
How dare you? I'm very cautious about when I wear joggers now.
After that experience,
Well, after knowing about the experience, like
did you know? When did you find out about it? When you saw the pictures, or after I told
it
you?
was when you told me, because I had shown those pictures to people. thinking
No, it
nothing
was
of
like bubble butt, and then yeah, it was bad. I mean, it was fine for whoever's interested, but it was bad.
Yeah, I was super embarrassed when you said that to me. I was like, it really fucked with me. I was like, oh no. I was like, that's not what I was trying to do.
In front of
I hope you don't
children.
think I was trying to do that. Like I felt crazy.
Oh, I know you weren't, but
I
also
didn't know
you
that
had
at first.
you had me get, like this one girl. She asked about something in a horror movie. I forget what movie, but like
Oh,
you showed up.
I remember. It was Hush. It was Hush. It was the girl in the mount getting choked.
Yeah, so he showed that, and like he just like I think we were both on top at one point,
Yeah.
but everyone was just kind
I
of
just
looking
don't
weird.
think anything of
Yeah, me neither. No, but if people like I saw people's facial expressions afterwards, and they were like, "What
yeah.
is happening?"
Did
Because
he
they're
just-
stupid, and in high school,
Did you
everyone's
just
stupid in
sit
high
on her
school.
face?
Not on my face,
I know,
but like close.
Like it's all the same to them. Like,
Exactly.
what do they know? It's just a weird position.
Yeah.
Like mount. Like, is that okay? Are you all right?
It's like remember Lauren?
Yeah.
Yeah, she trained for a little while, and then she just got uncomfortable. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's all good.
like closed guard and stuff.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yep.
Like I think it's weird when people don't say it's weird.
Yeah, if people don't acknowledge it.
Like it's weird. Like yeah,
Mhm.
I just met you. Now come between my legs and meet your doom. Like I just taught at Oberlin last
Are you
week.
still doing that?
Yeah, I have 2
Wow.
more classes. Tomorrow I'm teaching, and then the following week, and then I'm out. Nuts.
Dude, you have some great Oberlin stories. Is that why you were talking about how you don't have to like the gender thing today? Why you don't have to do pronouns?
Yes, that's why.
Do tell.
That's why I told that joke. Well, there was an opportunity or a moment, really, is a better way to say it, where I called someone her, and they kind of made a big fucking deal out of it. And my take on it is like, if you believe that there's disrespect in my tone, like if I'm dismissing your identity to try to put you in your place, correct me and stand up for yourself.
Yeah.
But if you get the impression that I'm just reacting to what you are presenting to me, so like if you are wearing a feminine cut shirt and you have a feminine body, and I say, how about you and her go over this way? I'm looking at you at a glance.
Yeah.
If you had presented yourself like a boy, that glance, even on that really quick reaction, I may not have used that pronoun. I might have been more neutral on accident or on purpose.
Yeah.
But when you present yourself like a girl, and then you want to like, actually, you can't presume my gender. Like, fuck you.
Yeah. Well, did this
Fuck
person
you.
like come up to you and be like, "Oh, I'm a he or they or whatever"?
Yeah.
Did they
But
previously?
it was the way they presented it after. It
I
was
see.
like, it wasn't like, oh, by the way, like, I would prefer this in the future. It was like, I'm a this. Fuck you.
Was it one of the new words? Please don't tell me it was one of the new words.
No, it was, they just wanted to be a they,
I see.
which is mild.
Yeah, that's
Right?
fine.
It's mild. It wasn't like Zer or Zim. It was mild.
Invader
Didn't
Zim.
make up a whole thing. You just added to a concept,
Mm-hmm.
right? Making up a whole thing, I'm just not doing.
Yeah.
I don't Zer you. I'm not Zerring anyone. But I will they you all day if you want.
Because people even say like
And
if
you
I'm
have
like,
transitioned, actually transitioned, I will acknowledge that too.
yeah,
But like, if you're just a motherfucker who read a stupid article, I'm not gonna go out of my way to indulge you any more than you've gone out of your way to make it easy to recognize.
Mm-hmm.
So like, if you're gonna wear heels and lipstick and demand that I call you they, and be a female-bodied person, and you're like, I'm actually a they, go fuck yourself.
yeah,
Like, go fuck yourself. Make sure that when you're with your friends, that all of you guys are on the same page. But in normal life, you don't get to just make me call you something like,
yeah.
like help then. If it's that important to you,
Or just be be willing to work with the person until they like
Yeah.
get it down. Like actually, I think I've heard somewhere that like intentionally calling someone by the wrong pronouns is now considered sexual harassment
yeah.
in the workplace.
And I can see that.
Yeah.
But the question is, how do you dictate intent? Like, how do you determine
Yeah.
intent?
Well, if it's like
if I don't
mocking,
like
but
you,
yeah,
if I don't like you and you do it on accident, I can say you did it on purpose.
yeah,
So that's a little wonky. But I think the spirit of the law is good. I think, yeah, if you're trying to come after someone, you're trying to do damage to their soul, then that should be punishable, right? Like, for the crime as it was intended. Like, you tried to fucking hurt me over something that
back.
I may or may not be under control of, right? It's like, you know what people are really flipping out about? You know how people are really mad at Liam Neeson right now?
Oh,
Are
because
they
about
mad
the
at
black
Liam
guy
Neeson?
thing.
Yeah.
What happened?
So a long time ago, Liam Neeson, well, Liam told the story recently, but a long time ago, one of his friends was allegedly raped. But she said, Liam, this happened to me. So for his experience, his friend was raped. He's like, who did this? And she's like, a black man. And so he's like, And so for a week, he said he went out walking the streets at night, hoping that a black dude would start some shit with him so he could fucking kill him.
Oh no.
That's dark, right? And now people are even more mad because when he told the story, he was like, "That I was hoping that some black bastard would come out and I would kill him." And people were like, "Hey man, I don't like the way that sounded." And like, if you just listen to the audio, black bastard does sound particularly harsh. And I'm not one of those dudes to jump to conclusions like that. So I don't jump to a conclusion. I do say that his inflection on black bastard is slightly disturbing. That doesn't mean that he's necessarily racist to this day, or that even on that day he was truly a racist.
I think he was just looking out for this one dude.
No. He said he was looking for a random black guy to kill.
Oh,
Now
no.
that's bad, right?
Yeah.
It's bad. That's group think.
Was he like trying to get back at like
Yeah.
the population? Yeah.
But like, I think what that really is when something like that happens, you're reminded of your own actual impotence.
Would you like to hear the tape?
Sure.
Oh man, he's pulled up.
Some black bastard.
Tell you a story. This is true. I'm not going to use any names, but I was away and I came back.
I'm intimidated.
She told me she'd been raped, but she handled the situation of the rape.
So yeah, we're watching.
My immediate reaction was, I asked, did she know who it was? No. What color? No. She said it was a black person. I went up and down areas with a kosh
Now, what's a kosh? I'm gonna guess a kosh is a knife or a club of some kind. Maybe a flapjack. So there's a certain tone to black bastard, right?
Yeah.
It looks like a what's it called?
Could be. It could be. It looks like a little.
What are the police?
An
use
asp,
them?
a club.
Yeah.
It's a club.
Yeah.
Flapjack. I described this multiple times. Okay. So he's got the kosh, and he's waiting for some black bastard to fucking come out. Like, is that inappropriate? Yes. But I think it's a normal reaction given the circumstance. I'm not justifying shit.
Right. I think it is a little weird that his first question, the second question was like, what color were they?
Well, think about where he is. In America, it's different than in other countries.
Yeah, that's true.
There are much fewer black people, much fewer immigrants
Yeah.
in Ireland.
Yeah.
That's true.
And so he's like, you don't know who it was? Well, what color were they? Well, if he's white, fuck. It could be
Yeah.
anybody. He's black, he's brown, he's yellow.
Smaller amount.
There's like 20 of you niggas out here, man.
Smaller amount.
Like, fuck. Dude, you might get it. You might get found. So, but it's really disturbing to admit something like that, right? But like, at least he told the story.
Yeah.
And he didn't edit it. He didn't sugarcoat shit.
No.
I think it's a cool story, honestly. And I'm glad that he didn't kill any black bastards. And I do think the tone hints at some harboring racism, but nothing that's like profoundly gross. Like, there's a natural amount of racism in all of us. It's called tribalism. It's like you recognize someone as being your own, and then everybody else is the other. And since you're a rational human being, you realize that the other doesn't make them the enemy because of modernity. But like at the base of your spine, the other is the enemy. The other is dangerous. The other has potential to do me harm, even inadvertently, through like disease, because they're not exposed to the same things we are. Or through the way that they process their food. Maybe I don't digest things the way that you do, because we're not the same color. So you see the other and you create distance.
Yeah.
That is a natural thing to do. But once you have reason and modernity, you're like, wait a second. They probably have the same exact set of problems that I do.
Yeah.
Just a slightly different culture to interpret it through. A slightly different lens. It's like colored differently.
Rose.
Colored differently.
There you go.
Let's talk about synesthesia.
Hold on, before,
Oh,
before we get to, I
man.
would like to say that I do believe his movies now more. Like any Liam Neeson movies now, with The Taken, I believe it more. I feel like he is that guy. Like he is that guy. Like you call him up and he'll take care of the problem. I believe that way more now. Like after hearing
You're
The
like
Taken.
taken infinitely more plausible.
His
Yes.
accent to me sounds like an interesting mix of Irish and Texan. You know, certain words that he says, I'm like, wait.
Maybe he's played too many American characters, you know,
Maybe.
it sits with you. It's like,
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
it's like there were months where like my cadence was Connor's cadence. And it wasn't because I was
I
trying.
think I remember that time.
It was because I was just, I was listening to him too much. Like literally, like
Have
I would
you
spend
noticed that-
hours listening to Connor talk. And so his cadence slipped into my way of speaking.
Yeah.
The same thing happened with Jordan Peterson for a little while. I was listening to so many of his lectures because they're long. And so I would listen to like 4 hours of lectures in an afternoon, right? Then I'll teach class. Then the next day repeat. That was like 2 or 3 months, right?
Yeah.
So I totally have some variation of borderline personality. And like that doesn't help. Like if I hear your voice and we're the only ones interacting, like essentially I start to talk like you.
Yeah.
And then I'll have to like chill.
Distance yourself.
Separate.
Have you noticed that I think it's apartments or something like that, right outside, right when you pull out from where the academy is now, it's McGregor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did
Every
notice
time
that.
I see that, I'm like,
I did
I
notice
chuckle.
that. So like, you know, like the whole idea of like personal numerology.
Yes.
When I
Episode
saw-
143, by the way.
When I saw the, I love you. When I saw that there was like McGregor Place
Mm-hmm.
and that we were on Renaissance Parkway, I was like, we good. This is the spot. I know it's magic, right? That's right. I believe in magical things. But look at us now.
Only when they're convenient for you.
It's
Yeah.
true.
When else should I look about?
When they're not.
Like when?
I don't know.
See?
Like when your tire goes out, it's like, oh man, maybe it's a sign.
Maybe it is.
Yeah,
like,
so-
all right, so one time my tire blew out. I went and got it fixed and it blew out again.
Did
I
you get
was
it fixed at my dad's place?
I tried. I was on my way to do some super negative, unnecessary shit. The universe is trying to keep me from like making a big mistake.
See?
So I just edited around it and had the mistake come to me.
Damn. Damn.
Because I don't listen. I do what the fuck I want. But the universe tried to send me some signs. It was like, don't do this, bro. Don't do this, cuz. Don't do this again. It stopped me twice on the way there. It was like, no, I said no. And I was like, all right, fine, I won't go. Want to come over?
This I'll do the opposite.
Because I'm a piece
You're
of
referring
shit.
to this person as a mistake, which is, I think,
It is the way it is.
I see.
Like, you can be a good person and be a mistake. You're supposed to be over there. You're supposed to be doing something else instead of spending time with me.
I see.
It's all good.
Would you like
You are not a mistake.
Yay.
Our time together is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All respect. All said with love.
Would you like me to talk about my weird brain?
Yes, very much so.
Cool. So I have this thing called synesthesia, and it can be expressed in either like seeing colors or hearing flavors, but I have color number synesthesia, which is where letters, numbers, keys on a piano, even people, subjects, months, whatever, they have certain colors. But numbers to me
Yes.
are always the same. I can go through them if you would like.
I do.
It's a
Want you to
brief
go through
list.
them.
The digits. So 0 is like clear or white. 1 is kind of like a light gray, just a little bit less than 0 because it's a little bit more significant than 0. Then 2 is always blue. 3 is always a yellowy lime green. 4 is orange. 5 is red. 6 is hot pink. 7 is purple. 8 is forest green. 9 is like a light pink. So because of this, so I played piano for a while like a good Russian woman. When I was 10, I was figure skating, playing piano, doing gymnastics, and getting straight A's. It was wonderful.
You were super Russian.
I was the most Russian.
You're the most Russian girl ever.
And I'm half Jewish, so it doesn't even work. But when I was started playing Fiorelise, and my piano teacher was adamant. He was like, "You need to play this." He was a very nice. When he died, it was the first time I ever cried when someone died. He was like a family member to me. I loved him so much.
Respect.
But he was like, "You need to play this," and the colors, it was like lime green and then like dark green mixed in with like random gray shit, and then like a blue one would pop out every once in a while. It was awful. So I did not play Fiorelise for years because of this color crap. It's like, this sucks. Fun fact too, I told my grandma about this and she did not believe me, and then like 2 weeks later she was like, "Oh, someone on TV talked about this thing. I guess it is real." It's like, thanks, grandma.
Like, oh, I thought you were making this bullshit up.
Yeah, dude, my grandma's ruthless. My grandma's awesome.
That's so dope.
My grandma, she had, I think I mentioned it a little earlier, she had breast cancer. She's fine. But she had symptoms for 8 or 10 fucking years. Her mom was a gynecologist, and she did not go to the doctor because she didn't want to bother anyone. And then once her bra stopped fitting, she was like, "Fine, I'll go." And the people were like, "Oh, you've had symptoms for 8 years. You should be dead, lady."
It's like, no, I'm good.
And then she came in for her
Fix
surgery.
this.
And ever since she was 20 years old, she has curled her hair with bobby pins every single night of her life. When she so the hospital wards in Russia are not like, it's not like a curtain or something like that. It's like a room with like bed, but there's not really like things to separate so people can see you. And so she brought in her little box of bobby pins, the same one she still has to this day. And she waited until everyone was asleep, curled her hair, got up early, uncurled her hair. She still doesn't believe that she like had breast cancer.
That's really cool. That's really cool.
She's a cool lady.
That's a good story.
She's awesome.
I wouldn't have believed that you could see colors if I didn't know who you were as a person. Like,
What
if
do you mean?
What do you mean you wouldn't believe it?
Like if she was like the fact is that she's such a logical person, I would be like, yeah, you're just crazy. That's like, yeah, you're just a crazy person. Like that's it. But like the fact is that
No,
I know
that's a real thing.
I know it's a real thing, but I wouldn't have believed like if I like your grandmother would have been like, I don't believe that. Like
My grandma just doesn't believe anything. My grandma calls out everyone's bullshit.
So there you go. But I've been like, oh, I guess I have to take your word for it.
I see.
Because you seem like a very intelligent.
Well, it
person.
helps me memorize stuff. That's why I was so good. That's why I'm like in neuroscience. It's part of the reason why I'm in neuroscience and not like a math-based thing, much less math-based. because it's a lot of memorization and memorizing systems, and like once you can color coordinate stuff, it's so much easier to do all that.
And then the other thing I remember about her, like in terms of like how her brain works a little bit, is we were in a parking lot and she's like, oh, see, your car has a nice face. And I was like, what? She's like,
It was outside the Boston market.
yes. She was like, your car has a nice face. And then there was this pickup truck. I think it was a Ford. And
I think it was actually a 2500.
what was it? 2500?
A Ram.
It's a
A
Ram.
Ram.
The Dodge. And so she's like, yeah, see that one? That looks mean. It's like
It's like
snarling
sneering.
at us.
It's got like eyebrows like this.
So
It's like a
let's-
Camaro. If
let's
you've
play
ever
this
looked at a
game.
Camaro and
Let's
shit
play
your
these
pants
games.
because you're scared.
Let's look up.
Yes. Look up a Camaro.
Let's look up a car. I want to know what you think the Koenigsegg's face looks like.
The Koenigsegg looks like super fucking surprised.
It looks surprised.
It tries to be intimidating, but it looks like it just got
This
scared.
is the best game because, like, you know, like when you go to therapy. Like,
No, like a 20 like 13 Camaro.
when I went to therapy.
Like this dude. Try to see if you can find one that's like head on.
Yeah, head on.
Yeah, like a yellow one maybe. Yellow helps. I don't know why.
Yellow helps you see the face.
Like
That one's more of it.
a little bit, yeah.
I can see it. I definitely can tell.
Yeah, no, it's sneering at you because
It has an
they,
attitude. It's not
like go to that picture in the top right there, like with the small ones. Like right there, like they specifically designed it that way to make it look like it has like sneering eyebrows. Like the designers did that with intent, because they recognize like all people that cars have. Like I don't like this Pixar Cars bullshit. I like the movie, but the eyes are not the windshield. The eyes are the headlights. The nose is like the logo insignia. I don't know, and then the mouth is kind of like the grill area.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. So in the movie Cars, they've anthropomorphized the cars by making
just look it
the
up.
windshield into eyes. Is that what it is? Can
Yeah.
you show me that?
Just look up Lightning McQueen. Pixar. Yeah, that's fake.
I
That's fake
see.
news.
This is fake news. This is not the way that Cars.
No, like click
That is
on
not the true face of the car.
that one, yes. So bottom right, I forget her name in the movie, but she's a Porsche.
Okay.
You can tell from the headlights. It's like a 2002 Carrera. They have those like
Sis.
two little like I grew up fixing cars. Shut up. But those headlights are the face. Like you can even like look at it. Like they did the
So
little
show me a
smile.
2002 Porsche Carrera. I want to know what their kind of face looks like.
Might be 2003. Yeah. Carrera like 4S. C A
There- no,
C A
CA.
C A. It's just
That'll be good
911.
enough.
Yeah.
We
Yeah,
gotta-
look down there. Yeah. See how it has like the headlights kind of in two parts. It's not just a circle. It's got like a
Yeah.
little blup. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. See, headlights are the eyes. The little Porsche sign is the nose, and then the grill is the mouth.
I get you.
Any others? Any other takers?
I want to see. Oh fuck! Go to 2018 Toyota. The fucking truck, the Tundra. TRD.
TRD.
Yeah, the
TRD
TRD Pro,
Pro.
the Tacoma Pro. That's what I want to see.
It's not a Tundra. It's a Tacoma.
Yeah, that's what I want. The Tacoma
You want
Pro.
that truck?
Yeah. I want to know what you think of that.
It's got pretty neutral face. I generally like Toyotas, Hondas, and Subarus. Like just general. Hondas are probably your best bet for your buck or bang for your buck. Yeah, just a little bit. It's kind of like
Yeah, it's kind of like it's content. It's
That's the
content.
official, like, I'm an uncomfortable white person smile.
yes, yes, it is. When someone's walking down the street, you're just like,
Yes, yes. I do it too, though, because I was culturally culturally raised by those people.
I do it, especially if I'm seeing someone who's older, like an older person. I try to smile just to show that I'm not like one of the kids. I'm like a
Yeah.
nice person. I'm not like,
so real.
you know what I mean? You smile at all people, so you
I
you
do
seem
that
nice.
all the time. I give them the tight,
Oh
like,
man, and
I see you there.
yes,
I acknowledge you.
just
Instead of,
looking
like,
at my phone. I'm
instead
not a
of
whippersnapper.
namaste.
Who
Just
put
like-
scissor doors on this stupid fucking car?
Don't be mad.
I just want your opinion.
On this car?
No, just the.
Are you purchasing it?
No, just the face.
The face of the car?
of a Dodge Stratus.
Yes.
Kind of looks like a mouse or like a rat, like a little bit. Like click on that right picture. You see the license plate. You have to account for the license plate, but you see the license plate kind of makes it look like it has almost like buck teeth.
Yes.
Go to find Buick Rendezvous, like
You are
2004. The Buick Rendezvous is the most rat-looking car that I know of.
You don't know how to spell rendezvous. There it is.
You
down there.
don't.
No. Go back. It's an E.
It's
Rendezvous
it's
is
two
an E.
words. It's two words.
I don't know. You guys
It's
There it is.
Randes
Bam.
Vaus phonetically.
Renda's Vaus.
Yes, but you got to find one with a license plate.
It's the most rat-looking car.
It is, yeah. See, it looks like an actual mouse because it looks like it has like the headlights and kind of like the mirrors almost look like they have a little bit of ears.
Yes, I see
You know, and then it's got that button nose, and then it's got that the
It's
the
a little
teeth.
mouse.
That's a rat
Yeah.
car.
That is a rat car.
Oh my God, you're the
It's
best.
a rat
I'm
van.
cool.
Anthony,
They're on.
did you catch Bellator?
I did not.
Do you know what happened in the
do.
in the main event?
It said nut kick.
First round dick kick finish.
Yes.
First round
Oh wait, I think I saw that
dick
as like
kick
a meme.
finish.
Let's see if we can find that as a
Sergey Kharitonov is minding his own business. He thinks he's about to close the distance, and then motherfucking it wasn't intentional.
Right.
He goes to go for the kick, and it looks like it might go body, and he was deciding inside lower body,
saw
and he kicks him right on the dick, just like shin and foot on dick. Here's the kick. I mean, it's just that's snug as fuck. And usually,
It's like a puzzle
when a person
piece.
gets kicked, they're given 5 minutes to recover,
Yeah.
and then they recover in like 30 seconds. And they do a couple of the like jump on my heels gimmicks.
Make sure everything comes down.
They like everyone always looks inside.
Yeah.
They're like, is everything all right in there?
As you
Can I
should.
still have children?
Did you notice like when he's laying on his back, one of the people from the athletic commission like reaches in and like lifts his cup off of his body, like just like an inch or two, like and it reminded me of a video. You ever see the video of the African dude that gets knocked out in lamb boxing?
No. I have not.
All right, so this dude gets knocked out cold,
Let's
right?
find this.
And this dude, look out, hand job knockout, okay? Because it's got to be under there. Or like jerk off knockout, something like that. So this dude gets knocked out cold, right? And when these dudes get around him, to be like, all right, wake up. This one dude runs in like, stop everything. I got this. Like,
Most daring CPR and something like that.
maybe.
Wait, is this going where I think it's going?
This is it. This is it. So this is a form of lamb wrestling or lamb boxing where they wear a pad and they play for takedowns and knockouts. And this dude gets knocked out stiff, right? And so these dudes come around him and they're like, all right, we got him. And this one guy's like, no, I got this. He goes right into his pants. He goes right into his pants and just starts jerking his dick off. And they're throwing water on him. And this guy's like, no, this is the real way. Right to the dick. He's beating the guy up.
Yeah.
Like, what a fucking weirdo. And he's doing it like, no, I've got him.
That's so strange.
Like, I don't understand. Bro.
You're like
Like,
losing it over here.
I've been knocked out before.
Guys, it's just such a weird thing to do.
Now,
Oh,
like,
no.
he looks like he's in the place,
Yeah.
right? Like, he's in the knocked out zone.
You
Or
gotta
maybe
lift
he's
the
just
legs to get the
enjoying.
blood flow. They're
May-
literally
may-
sitting him up. That's the worst thing you can do.
And maybe it looks like he's upset. That he's like getting jerked off.
And you're putting
Look at-
blood
see the guy,
flow
look-
into the dick,
He's
away
like,
from
no,
the
this is
head.
serious. I've got him. The
Most-
sacred
This is just
duty.
all wrong.
Most daring CPR.
Most daring CPR. Ah, that's fucked up, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, so it was kind of like that, but like not like that. So he like kind of like lifts it off of him.
A little less passionate.
He like lifts it off of him, and he's like, "Oh man, you're gonna be all right." And then finally, Sergey's like, "Hey man, like get out of there." I takes his hand out, but they stopped the fight.
Yeah.
I've never seen personally with my own eyes. I've never seen a fight stopped on a dick kick before ever. Like they just get stopped momentarily, and then usually way before I think the guy should start fighting again, the guy starts fighting again. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But
I
they
think-
give you 5 minutes, like
Yeah, you're given
up to 5 minutes.
but no one ever takes it.
Yeah.
They're always
Just
like, no, I'm
strange.
good. And they're like, are you sure? And he's like, yeah, I'm good. And they jump on their heels again. And they go out and fucking fight. Not Sergey. Sergey's like, no, bro. But I can understand that. Like, I've been kicked many times. Most of the time, I don't really care. Knees, headbutts to the dick. Like, just go forward. I don't care. But the one time that I felt like that feeling where it's like in your stomach, in training environment, keep going. If we are fighting for tons and tons of money, and it feels like something weird is climbing up into my stomach and chest because you kicked me illegally, I don't think I have to fight you at all. Like, I would take the 5 minutes, and if I felt like I wasn't the same guy that I was before you kicked me in the dick, even if I think I still have enough to beat you, I think it's in my best interest to say I'm walking out of here. So hats off to Sergey for being the first smart guy in MMA.
I'm trying to. I always felt bad training because I never like. I remember we would do like passes and stuff like that, and like my favorite pass, the Violator. Fun story there. I was fighting a blue belt in gi, first match I ever won, and this lady, she was like in her 50s. She was really, really sweet, really nice. We talked later after the match. And he was like, Violator, Violator, Violator. And everyone thought he was saying violate her to a 14-year-old who he claimed to be his sister.
So I wanted her to open the guard by putting her knee in the butt, dropping down, and then knee cutting across.
Yeah.
Which is the Violator, right? Violator.
Yeah,
and so I'm like,
Violator.
Violator!
It was great.
I'm screaming at this tournament, Violator! That couldn't have been good. That was bad.
But I won.
She won
By
though,
a point.
Yeah.
So fuck everybody.
Yes. But
Did that girl ask? Did the lady ask afterwards? Like, what was your coach yelling at you?
I don't think
I
so.
don't-
She was
she didn't
really
ask.
sweet. It was at a high school. It was Parma, I think. And we ended up changing like at the bathroom. We were at the sinks at the same time after we changed, and we were just talking. And she was like, "Oh yeah, like my kids like do this," and she was really, really sweet. She was awesome.
She is nice. She
Yeah.
still does jiu-jitsu.
Nice.
Yeah, she's very good now.
What was I gonna say? I was gonna. Oh, I felt bad because like when we would do stuff like that, I never like had to worry about any of it. But like I think I need Cookie a couple times, real bad. It was rough. Because
Of course,
Cookie,
he's so nice
because
too.
he's so nice and he's so good that I just kind of like
Like, I gotta go.
yeah, you know.
I only have a small window of opportunity. If your dick gets in the way, 3 points are 3
Yeah,
points.
but I don't even know of an equivalent. Like the thing that's so there's that argument like does giving birth or getting kicked in the balls hurt more, right?
Is
I
that
feel
the
like
argument?
There's a big
There's an
discussion about
argument
that.
It's a dumb argument.
I'm pretty sure. I mean, again, I don't have any experience with either of those things, but I'm pretty sure giving birth is more painful because it lasts
gotta be.
longer. Because it lasts longer, and I
It
have
changes
pretty
you.
bad cramps. It's real bad.
Like, it changes you. Like,
Yeah,
It's a dumb argument.
but here's the
that's-
thing, though.
What?
It's a dumb
You
argument.
only have to give birth a couple times in your life. I mean, you can do as many as you'd like, but like that's the limited number of things. You can get kicked in the dick every day for the rest of your life if you're a dick.
You can get kicked in the dick every day. If
You know?
so choose that lifestyle.
Right,
You
but-
choose to live the life of the dick kick.
Get what you deserve
Yeah, but you can get pregnant every 9 months if you like, if you don't want to live that.
if you
life
want
too.
to. The most women
You just want Irish
or the
twins,
most
Irish triplets, Irish quadruplets.
Yeah.
the most children any woman has ever had was a Russian lady in like the late 1800s.
course.
Her name was Mrs. Fyodor Vasilievich. Nobody knows like her first name. And she had 69 kids.
Oh,
What a number.
Oh
Whoa.
my goodness.
The
Dude.
most children a man has ever had was
just
like
shook
some
'em out.
Ottoman like
Well,
baron who had like
that's
900
easy.
kids.
Yeah.
He shook him out.
He had like 3 different women each day, like
Yeah.
for like years.
Yeah, you're just like, it's by design.
Yeah.
Like Elio Gracie. It's by design. It's like,
It's okay. He respects
we're
it.
gonna have to have a lot of kids if we're gonna win this war.
Yeah.
Do
Send
you
it to all the
think
women.
do you think they killed daughters?
No, there's daughters, but a lot of those daughters gave birth to sons who kept the name Gracie, which is some wild shit. If you think about like how that conversation must go when you're just like a normal guy who's probably proud and who has a proud father,
Neiman Gracie.
and then you have a kid, and you're like, oh, now that our kid's gonna get famous, he's not gonna carry our name And you have to be like, cool, I get it. It's like, well, why do you care? But I bet your grandpa cares. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because he doesn't give a fuck about your famous whatever the fuck.
Yes.
The name was good enough for his father. You know? Yeah. Stamboski. Yeah, dude.
Oh, so he's
They
like
all-
a
they
he's
all
a
take
he's a
the
great
name.
grandkid.
Yeah, they all take the name though. Like, they all take the name, and like whatever. I get it. It's branding, marketing, respect.
Money.
Poor Anthony.
I'm surviving.
You've done well.
Tired.
Done good. Wow.
You've done well.
Guess what?
Weird news.
Well, before we have weird news, little sister has been fiddling around with something in her hands for quite a long
Oh,
time.
I
right.
did. I got him a present around Christmas time, but I never gave it to him. But here you
Aw,
go. I think it's a very appropriate time to give this to you.
Cool. All right, I will open it. Look, it's got a little
It's
guy.
got a little reindeer on it.
The voice change.
I like how I wrap presents. I'm very proud of how I wrap presents.
I don't want to see it until it's already unwrapped. Is that weird?
Go for it. So it's your present. It's your possession now.
My possession.
You don't even have to open it. After once you give it to you, technically you don't even have to open it.
What?
You just don't have to open it. You can just never open it.
It's true.
That's super weird.
Since it's yours,
It's
you don't have to
nothing
open
much.
It. You never have to open it.
It's really not anything.
No, I'm sure it's.
But
Oh, this is the best. What do you mean it's not anything?
it's a coaster.
This is the best thing ever.
That's probably much exactly right what he wanted.
It's just a little piece of home.
Do you know how good this is?
It's actually like really timed really well.
This is perfect. Thank you, sis.
You're welcome. I'm glad you like
Look.
it.
It's the Cleveland flag. Show me the fucking screen.
I'll show it to you. So.
The Cleveland flag coaster.
Right behind you is the
I can bring that with me, and it's the fucking cork board, so it's nice and quiet.
Yes.
Everyone sucks but my sister.
Aw.
All right, so I'm grateful for this. I'm gonna hug you as soon as we do the sign off. Today was incredible. I got to promote my students. All of those promotions were overdue. Anthony's a blue belt. There are many other blue belts. Shout out to people who have been on the podcast who are promoted. Walker was given a stripe on his belt. Powerful Trevor went up to purple belt.
Yes.
And
Dan Van the man.
Dan Van, who I love but hasn't been on the podcast yet,
Yes.
is my brown belt. So, he may not be welcome in every academy, but he's welcome to wear a brown belt anywhere I'm standing. I don't give a fuck what anybody thinks about it, by the way. Love you. Still don't give a fuck about your opinion. At all. Like, not anybody's but ours. Because, look, man, when we were doing that transition and moving into the spot that was next to yours, I got offered to move to Austin. And I was like, no. I won't do that. I don't need that apartment. I don't need that stipend. I'm not coming. No. And it was like I chose these boys. There was no other reason for me to say no. I chose the crew. I chose the boys. And then I lost everything, and they made choices. Respect, but they made choices. And a lot of those motherfuckers didn't choose me. Some people did. And I got to promote those guys today. And they deserve those promotions. And soon they will go on and do their own things. But there will be a time where I come back to Cleveland for a weekend or a week. And there will be a time where we will all train again. We still have all of next week. But it would be bullshit to act like today wasn't kind of sort of goodbye. Because it kind of sort of was. And so thanks to everyone that was there. Thank you for making it to class today. And thanks for doing the podcast. Goodbye, Internet. XOXO.